So my name is Adnan, and I guess everyone knows me. So I'm the founder of Jolkona and one of the TEDxRainier speakers.
I'm Nadia and I'm another co-founder and CEO of Jolkona, and we're all about engaging millennials and next-gen donors online and providing a feedback loop that's very transparent. So hopefully together we're helping to build a philanthropic pie and get more donors involved in giving.
So I'm Laura Kimball, and I'm the Director of Communications and Social Media with Jolkona.
I'm Taylor Corbett. I was an early supporter of Jolkona, and still am a supporter, but I'm currently in New York as an intern with the United Nations Population Fund.
I'm an intern at Jolkona, and I'm currently at a conference, so my kind of loud in the background.
Well, I'm going to be sharing a screen with you, so to just kind of set the stage of what we're going to talk about. Can you guys all see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So the topic, Adnan, actually, you can go and I'll just turn the page.
Sure. So the topic, as I mentioned earlier, is how do we engage millennials in giving. So some background information first is, if you look at this chart, if this represents kind of the donor chart, on the left side, blue section, so to speak, are the people who are your Bill Gateses and the Warren Buffetts and the rich people. There's a few of them, but they give a lot of money. And then kind of the long tail are the individuals who give small amounts of money. But as a group, the tail group, the orange guys, represent larger amount of donation than the blue guys.
And to put that in context in terms of millennials, so this is Gen Y, Gen Z. It's approximately 100 million of them. It's going to be the largest generation probably of our time, and have the potential to give over $100 billion.
Yes, in their lifetime.
No, per year actually.
Per year. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Cool. So just then looking at some of the trends. If you want to compare kind of like the old way of giving versus the new way of giving, we talk about in the old way, it's the few people who give a lot of money. Usually they're kind of like a relatively older generation, and they do it offline. So like they write checks, so they go to events and give money to events and stuff like that. The new generation of philanthropists, the millennials, so to speak, is much younger demographic. They don't give as much at one go, but again, together they give a lot. And they like giving online more than writing checks or going to big gala events. Nadia, did you want to add anything to that? Or?
No, I mean, I think that just kind of explains, we're seeing this kind of shift in what philanthropy used to be, and I think part of that has to do with the generation, the millennial generation.
All right. So some of the, so kind of moving on, so how do we get the millennials to give? So here's a list of some of the barriers that we think exist and what Jolkona is doing to address some of these barriers. So, for example, one of the barriers is there's a skepticism that a lot of the donations go to overhead. So, from Jolkona's side, the way we address that is we're 100% transparent on where the money goes. So you get to decide where the money goes, and then obviously you get to see what happened to the donation as well. Which goes to the second issue where people don't think that their money can make a difference to small donors. One of the other things is that giving is not perceived as something that's fun or that involves my friends, so to speak. So we're trying to address that by adding some features around social giving, so campaigns, giving communities, etc. Then another example would be, as I said before, like donors want to know that they can make a difference, they want to feel connected to their impact. So for us, the way we do that is through feedback. So our partner organizations upload feedback, photo, video, or story for information that they get. So, which brings us to the final kind of slide for today is really what we're going to talk about is to expand on those barriers and solutions, right? So we kind of set the stage in terms of what some of the barriers and solutions that Jolkona is working on today, but how do we expand that out? What are the other barriers out there, and then how do we, how could people address those barriers? What solutions do we get? So that's the contents.
I'm gonna stop sharing, and Adnan, if you want to open up a note thing. So I thought maybe if there's additional barriers or ones that you thought were very specifically important as to barriers, why friends aren't giving, or what would make them want to give more, then we can start creating like a list of barriers, and then kind of brainstorm through a couple of ideas, and maybe we can try to implement those.
Cool, I see it. This is awesome.
Cool. Okay. So feel free to just shout stuff out. Like, what are some barriers? I mean, there's a small group of us, so I know we could raise our hands. but yeah. So what do you think are some barriers?
Let's just try shutting stuff down and see how far we can get. If it gets too crazy, we'll go to raise hands.
All right. So first one I got is learning about an organization or a cause, just awareness.
Yeah. And I think along those lines, I was talking to someone over the weekend, and they worked at Microsoft, and they said, yeah, Microsoft tells you to make a payroll deduction to your whatever you're passionate about. She's like, I don't know what I'm passionate about. So I think, that awareness of what is out there, and a barrier to giving for this generation could be unemployment. There's so many people that are graduating and don't have jobs. Do you notice anything like this at the UN, Taylor, about reaching millennials, or what are the issues around your friends? I'm sure you're probably one of the outstanding ones that are really involved in the space, but I'm sure you have a lot of friends that don't even want to talk about this.
No, I mean it's definitely a challenging economic climate right now, and a lot of my friends are some of them have been lucky and have found jobs, but most of them are looking for jobs, so that's kind of their first priority and takes the majority of their time. But I think it also actually kind of creates an interesting opportunity in a way, because they have a lot of excess time on their hands when they're not looking for jobs, and there's kind of, it's how they're going to spend that time. And so I know some of my friends, they found part-time jobs or whatever, but some of them are actually volunteering and giving back kind of through alternative mechanisms. So that's kind of an interesting way to go about it, because they come out of school with these amazing skill sets, and they know so much about the world. They're very experienced, but they just can't really find a way to apply it where they'll get a salary at this point. So they're finding nonprofits that they're passionate about giving back in that way.
Yeah, so those notes will be shared. If you guys have any other ideas, that you come up with later, feel free to add it to the Google Doc. We'll probably keep it to use for our strategic planning later on this year. And we're always trying new things, so we'd definitely like to try some of these ideas.
And Taylor, you should listen to Talk Live, because I'll be talking about you a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, hey.
At the TEDx.
Just a little bit.
Just hey, any coverage I can get.
You're gonna be famous.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this test, and it's new for us, and I'm sure all of you guys. So we're just kind of trying it out, and but I think we got some good discussion and content from everyone. And I think you guys all provided valuable feedback.
And thank you all on behalf of TEDxRainier.
No, thank you. That's awesome, Taylor. Jeris, do you need anything else on our end?
I think that's good. Nadia sent me the logo, and as I said, right now I'm filming. I'll go into post-production, and within the next 5 days or so, the film will be up and live.
Great, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys.
Great. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.